For tier kills, Tarek GG, it's What the Moose here, and today I've got a bit of a different video for you guys, but hopefully it'll help you figure out what champion fits your playstyle for solo queue and what champion will really help increase your chances of winning, gaining league points and getting to Diamond 1 or Challenger. And a lot of people have asked me, Moose, how do you pick your champions? Do you just pick out of the meta champions? Do you just randomly pick champions? And that's what it might look like, but there is some logic behind it, and hopefully I'll help explain that throughout this video. So I want to start off by playing a little game with you guys, and it's going to require you to pretend that you're Riot making a new champion. The only rules for this game are you have to use abilities that are currently in the game, and those abilities have to correspond to the normal QWER. That means if you take a champion's E, it has to correspond to E on your champion. If you take a champion's Q, it has to become Q on your champion. You can't say take Kassadin's ulti and make it your champion's Q. So a quick example of this, you might want to take Thresh's Q, Jax's W, Kha'Zix's E and maybe Malphite's ulti. And for the purpose of this video, we'll just ignore whether the champion's ranged, melee, what their attack range would be. We're just focusing in on the Q, W, E, R and the passive. So your job is to make the most overpowered champion out of all the abilities currently in League. So if you want to pause the video for a few seconds now and let me know what kind of champions you come up with in the comments. I really want to find out, what you think is OP, what kind of combinations you'll be coming up with, and you can obviously see what everyone else is thinking. So pause the video and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so hopefully everyone's had a go at that now and typed something in the comments, or at least had a think about who they'd make for their favourite champion. And what I'm going to do now is go through my perfect champion if I was Riot. So to start off, my champion's Q will be Gragas's barrel roll. It does a lot of damage, it does AoE damage, it's on a really quick cooldown, so it's really nice for clearing waves both defensively and offensively. It's got some nice poke, and it also reduces the enemy's attack speed, and every other ability like this, such as Ezreal's old W, has been changed since, apart from Gragas's Q. So my super champion's W would be Gragas's Drunken Rage. It's on a fairly quick cooldown once it's timed out. It lasts for 20 seconds and the cooldown is 25 seconds. It gives nice sustain with the mana it gives, and it gives really nice lane presence with the damage reduction. The bonus AD is incredible late game, and it really helps with last hitting under tower early game, it helps with duels, and it helps if you choose any abilities that will scale with AD. So I'm guessing you guys can see where my champion is going. It's kind of a joke thing, but not really, because I honestly believe that those two abilities are possibly some of the strongest abilities in those slots in the game. I would have gone with Gragas's E and of course Gragas's ulti for my next two abilities. I possibly could have changed them out for something else to make a really overpowered champion, but the point I'm trying to make with this is, if I had to pick any ability in the game, put them together, I would honestly believe that Gragas is one of the most overpowered champions, and that's my opinion. And how can I use that information to correlate with the champions I should be playing and how I should be playing in solo queue? Well, there's two ways of looking at it really. One is, well, I believe that champion is really OP and I should start playing that champion. And of course it doesn't have to be all four abilities of one champion to make you do that. It could be you've selected two of Riven's abilities, then two other abilities. That means that you personally believe from experience or from watching that Riven is OP, and therefore you should possibly start playing it if it fits in with your playstyle. Alternatively, and as in with the case with me, I think that Gragas is really OP, however I don't play Gragas. Instead, I respect the fact that Gragas is strong. Every time I lane against Gragas, I know what he's capable of in the early game, I know what he's capable of late game, and instead I've looked at ways and champions of countering this, and that's where my Viktor came from, and that's initially where Quinn came from, believe it or not. following on from this, it's really important that your decisions aren't influenced by what other people say or what other people think. The other week I played a 1 versus 1 against someone that's only just hit level 30. I've played for nearly 4 years and he nearly beat me. The stuff that he was doing was so refreshing. I had no idea what to expect, no idea what was going on. It was so random, it was like nothing I'd ever played against before. But the point is, no one's told him how to play. No one's told him what to do, what to build, what's viable and what's not. He's made those decisions himself. He's got a fresh look at the game, which is something that's really rare nowadays. Everyone's opinions are made for them. Everyone's told what's the meta. Everyone's told what you have to pick, how you have to pick. And if you don't conform to this, you're the odd one out and you get reported, you get flamed, and it decreases your enjoyment and decreases your chance of winning games. And I really want to take it back to the stage, you know, where you're learning League at first. Imagine everything you've been told is a lie. You went back to level 1 and you had to relearn everything. Every single champion, you had to learn what they did again, what's going on, what to build, what to do. And that is where you start to really understand the game. If you're so set in your ways that you can't go back, can't take a fresh look at things, then you're never going to improve. You need to take a fresh look at things. Think of a champion that's OP, using the exercise that we just did, and then start to tailor builds that fit your playstyle. Tailor ways of playing that fit your playstyle within the game. Do you split push? Are you trying something new? Don't listen to what people tell you. Try your best, obviously. Don't troll, don't flame. The reason I'm saying this is that until recently, Lulu mid was a really uncommon pick. If you picked it, you were likely to get flamed. Someone played it in LCS, or I don't know, some pro played it, and then every single person that would have never ever picked it before is picking it just because a pro's picked it, just because they've seen that someone else is good at it. They would not have made that decision themselves, and they will not be able to make decisions themselves in the future about champions that work for them or are OP in the current meta, as it were. And that really frustrates me. If you're jumping on a bandwagon, you're too late. You've already missed 30, 40, 50, 60 potential league points. You need to be the person that creates the bandwagon or jumps on at the first hurdle. So, to quickly summarise, you need to take a step back and change your perspective. Do the exercise I said in the beginning and look for common themes. Whether it's 2 or 3 abilities that are from the same champion, or whether it's a common theme of what type of champion that would be, whether it's an assassin, an AD carry, and then start to think what champions within that and within the abilities that you selected would correlate to something that fits your playstyle. Alternatively, look for something that counters what you think is OP at the minute and start to play that, with tailoring builds and tailoring ways of playing to fit in with your playstyle. So, even though this is a bit of a different video, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, and hopefully it helps you find your solo queue secret weapon. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, favourite, and tell your friends, and please subscribe if you like what I'm doing. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.